Welcome to Sam Crawford Field. It is a beautiful day for baseball, although it was kind of hard to figure out what to wear today as I woke up. It was in the 40s, and we're supposed to be getting temps into the 70s. Right now we're in the mid-50s, but it feels a lot warmer with the sun coming down and a very little breeze, if any breeze at all. So thank you to the sponsors who are a part of this broadcast, part of the Wahoo Public School Athletic Booster Club, and as they bring us in to be able to bring you the coverage right here on bsdnlive.com, Saunders County Online YouTube, and Wahoo Public Schools YouTube. So many different ways that you can be able to watch and participate right here. Again, all the sponsors that are a part of this, you can see them in the upper left-hand corner as we continue through the game. Well, today we have the Warriors taking on the Blue Devils of Plattsmouth, and let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stats and everything for both teams. So both teams, I believe, actually are 10-10 as a record in the season so far. As we take a look at the schedule, it's 10-10 for the Blue Devils. Home, they are 8-2, away 2-7, so they do have a tendency to battle on the road. And taking a look at the Warriors at home, they're 3-4, away 7-5, really good on the road. So the Warriors have been picking things up as we get towards the later portion of the season. In fact, we're looking at district ball coming up very soon. The Warriors will be playing today. They were supposed to be playing last night with a senior night, but weather was not nice. If you take a look out there, the first, second, third base path, pretty dark. It's a little wet out there, but they've been putting a lot of the dry out, just raking it up, getting rid of some of the puddles, and making sure that it is ready to go for today's game. So the senior night has been moved to today. Following this game, we will honor the seniors for Wahoo Bishop Neumann as they look to be able to continue on. Then we'll be back here Monday afternoon. Varsity starts at 4:30. A lot of things going on in Wahoo on Monday. Baseball with the Warriors will be starting off 4:30, then jumping over to the other side of the activities department as we have the music department with their Pops concert following. That's going to be from 6:30 until dusk, and then they're going to be lighting off some fireworks. It's going to be pretty exciting to be a part of all of that. And you can also, again, watch right here. bsdnlive.com is the easiest way to get to all the games. If you've missed anything of the home activities, you can certainly go there. We'd love to have you be a part of the family there and learn how you can be a part of it as well. So let's take a look, see what else we are looking for here as we continue on. Overall, as we see, not seeing really a whole lot of stats or anything published yet, so let's take a look here. Okay. Leaders for the Warriors, Wahoo Bishop Neumann Warriors, batting average, Isaiah Nagel with a 3.391 average, followed by Jack Van Slyke at 3.354, Jace Kaminsky, .306. On base percentage, Jack Van Slyke slides into that leader slot with a .516. Isaiah Nagel then in second place, .487. Jace Kaminsky, .395. Leading the way with home runs is Isaiah Nagel with 2 home runs this season. Alex Berry with 1. Quinn Shutt with 1 home run. Stolen bases, Jack Van Slyke, 5 stolen bases. Sam Markson also with 5. Isaiah Nagel with 4. Earned run average, Alex Berry with a 1.85, and fielding percentage also Isaiah Nagel with a 1.0. So really good percentages out there for them. Taking a quick look over at Plattsmouth. So let's see if we can see their stats as well. We have Levi Walker leading the batting average at .362, followed by Eli Winters, .333, and Bradley Robbins, .317. Levi Walker also leads the on-base percentage, .486. Bradley Robbins with a .481. Eli Winters, .444. So second and third kind of flip there. Home run leaders, Derek Nanke with 1, and Jacob Longton also with 1. Stolen bases, Levi Walker, 15 stolen bases this season, so keep an eye on that. Henry Lutner with 11, and Lewis Ingram with 10. And earned run averages leading the way is Derek Nanke with .168, Levi Walker 1.88, and Chance Jackson 1.89. Fielding percentage, Bradley Robbins .987. Caden Mink with a .963, and Eli Winters .962. Overall runs, Levi Walker leading the way with 21 runs this season, also with 21 hits. Henry Ludner with 20 runs, and he drops down to 15 hits. And Eli Winters with 14 hits, or 14 runs, but 19 hits. So that's kind of very balanced between the two teams. So we're looking forward to seeing these guys play on probably what would be, if it wasn't for the dampness of the field, this would be like the perfect baseball day, the most perfect we've experienced so far. So as the fielders are heading out, we'll get ready here for the national anthem. Again, following the game, we'll talk about the starting lineups and the lineups as we get rolling here. But we will have the honoring of the seniors coming up right after the game. So stick around for that, as we want to say congratulations to the class of 2025 for a great season. And looking forward to what happens at districts and potentially state. We'll see how that all goes out. Now, both teams 10-10, a lot to gain, a lot to lose as we look forward to that. So everybody's getting lined up. We'll go ahead and turn things over here in a moment to the stadium as we will have the national anthem. Michael Klein in the press box. Been practicing that organ playing for a long time and being able to push that button. So good job there. Now we are ready for some baseball. Now looking out there for the Warriors, we have at the pitching mound is Cody Hesser. stepping in. He's going to be pitching down to Quinn Shutt, who is at catching position. First base, Caden Christian. As we move around, taking a look, we do have Carson Sabaka in his traditional shortstop position. Jace Kaminsky looks like he's over at third base. And let's see. We'll have to take a look here out at right field. Need to get my binoculars out here to be able to see because they didn't turn those into me. So we'll let you know as we continue on who is playing where. So center field is Isaiah Nagel. He's traditionally out there as well. And left field is Jack Van Slyke. It's time to kick things off right here on BSDN Live, Saunders County Online, and Wahoo Public Schools YouTube. Stepping up first for the Blue Devils is Lewis Ingram, senior. So he is waiting the very first pitch, which is going to be at 11:04. Showing bunt, pulls back, goes outside. 56 degrees, sunny skies. Nice bunt and picked up the throw over to first is in time for out number one. Now stepping up to bat for Plattsmouth is Henry Ludger, another senior, stepping up to bat for the Blue Devils. First pitch on the way. Pulled back, but still called strike. So Warriors off to a strong start. Next pitch on the way inside, and that one gets drilled down the third base line and goes foul. So 0-2 is the count. Nobody on base. Pitch on the way, swing, and that goes to third base. Picked up the throw over to first, is also in time for out number two. Stepping up to bat is the center fielder, number 18, Eli Winters, a junior for Plattsmouth. Waiting for the first pitch on the way. Swing and gets tapped back for strike one. Home plate umpire checking the ball. Hesser with the windup, the pitch on the way, and that one right across the outside edge of the plate, called strike two. Beautiful day at Sam Crawford. And the next pitch, off-speed pitch, drops in for strike number three. 3 up, 3 down, and that wraps up the top of the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. And we'll be back with the Warrior Bats right after this. Well, let's take a quick look at the field for the Blue Devils. Pitching is Derek Nanke. He is pitching in to Bradley Robbins at catching position. Over at first base is Lewis Ingram. Then looks like we have Levi Walker at second base. Taking a look as we move over and to shortstop, trying to see the number. Is that Bradley Thompson or Thomas? And then Henry Lugner over at third base. We'll take a look at the outfield here in a little bit, but it looks like we're getting ready. One more warm-up pitch. Okay, well, we can see out at right field. Well, again, we'll get back to the outfield in a little bit, but we have Carson Sabatka stepping up to bat for the Warriors. Starting off with a left-hander. Wind up the pitch on the way, and that one goes high for ball one. Wind up the next pitch on the way. Swung on, and that gets popped up, and that is still kind of took a while before that one came back down. Foul behind the stands on the third base side. So 1-1 is the count. Wind up the pitch on the way. Swing and miss that one. Strike two. That one came back and catcher caught that. Giving him a moment to be able to we'll get the trainer out to be able to look. Check out the catcher. Never want to see anybody hurt. So Bradley Robbins just took that one. Must have tapped that off and just came sideways back at the catcher, and it's moving, getting a couple of drinks, and all right, so he's getting back into position, stretching out. That's tough. But one of the most dangerous positions to play in baseball right there, the catcher. He's even with the protection that they are wearing. do a couple of warm-up throws just to make sure he's stretched out and able to get those. And again, that is just one of those unfortunate incidents that you just hard to protect against. So a lot of courage from this young man getting back in there and getting ready. So with a 1-2, Sabatka stepping back into the batting box. Wind up, the pitch on the way, swing, and that one goes straight out to center and snagged out in center field. He had a good line on that, but Eli Winters, center fielder, was able to run up and be able to snag that one as he slid forward. Now for the Warriors, we have Jack Van Slyke stepping into the batting box. With one out, nobody on base. Bottom of the first inning. Beautiful day, Sam Crawford Field. First pitch on the way, and that one crossed the plate on the inside for strike one. Wind up the next pitch on the way. That one goes outside. 1-1 is the count. Both teams 10-10 on the season. Next pitch swung on, and that one gets popped. It's going foul and chasing it down and dropping it. So first baseman for Plattsmouth got underneath it on the warning track. Just was, I would imagine, a lot of sun, wondering where the fence was, a lot of things going on. Not able to reel that one in, so we have a 1-2 count to Van Slyke. Next pitch comes in, and that one gets in there for strike number 3. Isaiah Nagel stepping up to bat. Isaiah Nagel, senior from Bishop Neumann, getting ready to swing the bat for the Warriors. 2 out, nobody on base. 2 up, 2 are down so far. Wind up, the pitch comes in, and that swing goes out to center field. And Winters stumbles a little bit, not able to get it. So it slipped out in the center field grass, just not able to reel that one in. So Isaiah Nagel with a base hit. And that brings up Jace Kaminsky, junior from Wahoo Public. So 2 out, runner on first. Warriors looking to do something. First pitch comes in and low and inside for ball 1. Wind up, next pitch swung on, and that grounder goes over to shortstop. The fielder's choice over to second is in time for the out. Well, that wraps up the first inning, 0-0. 1 hit, no runs, no errors. Runner left on first, and that is a completion of 1 inning right here at Sam Crawford Field, as we will continue bringing you a Warrior Baseball on BSDNLive.com, Saunders County Online YouTube, and Wahoo Public Schools YouTube. Welcome back to Sam Crawford Field. A beautiful day. We're in the mid 50s right now, but it feels much warmer as we're sitting in the concrete. Sun coming down and no breeze whatsoever. Stepping into the batting box. First pitch gets fouled back as Levi Walker is batting for the Blue Devils. So that is strike number one. Wind up the next pitch. That one stays high. 1-1 is the count. Cody Hesser trying to keep his pitch count down. Next pitch, off speed, drops low and outside. 2-1. Pitch comes in, swing, and that one gets popped up and into the stands right in front of us. Counts even at 2. Next pitch swung on, and that gets popped up down the first base line and getting underneath it. Able to reel that one in was Caden Christian without any issues. So that brings up the catcher for the Blue Devils, Brady Robbins. I'm sorry. Wind up the pitch on the way, and that one is low and outside. One ball, no strikes. Swing, and that gets sent down the third baseline. It pulls foul. 1-1. Wind up, pitch on the way from Hesser. Swing, and that goes down the third base line. Picks it up. Throw over to first is in time for out number 2. Caden Mink, a junior for the Blue Devils, stepping up to bat. 2 up, 2 down. Hesser with a pitch on the way. That one drops low for ball 1. Wind up the next pitch on the way. Right at the top of the numbers for a strike. Fastball coming in there. Next pitch, wind up. Swung on. That gets sent out to right center field, but the second baseman comes up. Was in the glove, but drops. So that does put a runner on first. And Brady Thomas at bat. 2 outs, runner on first. First pitch on the way, swing, and that gets popped straight up and coming over underneath it, chasing it down. Hesser was just flying in to see if he could try to get it, but not able to get his glove underneath it. Oh, 1 is the count. Runner on first, 2 out. Thomas at bat. Hesser checks the runner at first. Sets. Throw goes over to first. Able to beat it at the bag, so. Hesser checking runner. Pitch on the way, and that one drops in for a called strike. 0-2 is the count with 2 outs. Wind up that pitch. Stays high. Count now 1-2 with a runner on first. Top of the second inning, tied at 0. Swing, and that one gets sent out to left field, but able to get underneath it and reel it in for out number 3. One error, no hits, no runs, runner left on base. That is the top of the second inning. So 1.5 done. We'll come back with the Warrior Bats at Sam Crawford Field right here on BSDNLive.com, Saunders County on Live YouTube, and Wahoo Public Schools YouTube. All right, we're coming back to Sam Crawford Field, and the bottom of the second inning. Cody Hesser, pitcher for the Warriors, stepping in to bat. So pitcher versus pitcher. Nanke looking to see what he can do against Hesser. Line up the first pitch on the way. Swing and missed that one. Strike one. Throwing a little high, but making him chase. Swing on that one and pulled it foul down the third baseline. So strike two. Wind up in pitch number 3, and that one gets fouled again. So count keeps the count 0-2. Hesser staying alive. Leadoff batter, bottom of the second inning. Wind up, that pitch comes in. That one lingers a little outside. 1-2 is the count. Wind up that pitch. Swing and missed. Struck out Hesser. So we have Sam Markson, number 13, a senior from Wahoo Public, stepping up to bat for the Warriors. 1 out, nobody on base. Bottom of the second inning, tied at 0. First pitch coming in. That one goes low for ball 1. Good crowd out here on this Saturday. Beautiful day for baseball. Wind up pitch. Swing, and that one gets grounded out to center field. Nice base hit for Sam Markson. So with 1 out, runner on first, Caden Christian steps into the batting box, a left-handed batter. Caden Christian, a junior for Wahoo Public. Wind up, the pitch comes in. That one stays outside. 1-0. Robbins out of catching position, looking to throw over to first. Next pitch on the way, keeping that outside. 2-0 is the count. Next pitch. That one goes right down the middle for strike 1. 2-1's the count, 1 out, runner on first. Nanke checks runner, and the throw comes in right across the outside edge of the plate for strike 2. Goes even for the count, 2-2. Wind up pitch, swung on, and that one gets loped straight out to center field, waiting for it to reel it in without any issue. That is out number 2. Willie Ullery, second baseman for the Warriors, stepping up to bat. Willie Ullery, a freshman from Bishop Newman. First pitch gets foul back. Strike 1. Wind up next pitch. Swung on. That gets sent out to second base. The throw over to first is in time for out number 3. Well, the end of 2. No runs, no hits, no errors. Stranded runner on first, as actually there was a 1 hit. No runs, runner left on first, and but we have wrapped up 2 innings and stayed tied at zeros. Top of the 3rd, right around the corner with the Blue Devil Bats coming up on bsdnlive.com, Saunders County Online YouTube, and Wahoo Public Schools YouTube. Welcome back to Sam Crawford Field. It is Warrior Baseball on bsdnlive.com, Saunders County Online YouTube, and Wahoo Public Schools YouTube. I want to say again thank you to sponsors. You can see them in the upper left-hand corner. They have been a part of the Wahoo Public Schools athletic department all season, all year, and they're actually helping with putting together the scoreboard going into the new gym. At bat for Plattsmouth is Jacob Longton. First pitch goes high for a ball. Next pitch comes in and stays outside. 2-0 is the count. Hesser with the third pitch of the inning. Swung on, and that one gets sent out to left field with an easy snag in for the out. So we have Tony Domboski stepping up as a designated hitter for Plattsmouth. That first pitch comes in as ball 1. That next pitch comes right in for a strike. Hesser looking to throw and on his way, and check swing, pulls it back. Drops low and outside for ball 2. 2-1 is the count, 1 out, nobody on base. Wind up pitch. That one lingers just a little high, very close. Seen this umpire call that as a strike before, but wind up pitch, swing, and that one gets straight out to shortstop, picks it up. Throw is a little high. Could have been on time, but at least it didn't get out of control and just kept a base hit. So now we're back to the top of the Plattsmouth batting order with is this Lewis Ingram? Bunt, and that bunt picked up, throw over to first is in time. for out number 2, but that sacrifice does move the runner over to second base. Henry Lunger stepping up to bat, third baseman. 2 outs, runner on second. So we have a runner in scoring position for Plattsmouth at the top of the third inning. Hesser with the windup. The pitch comes in, and that one drops. Shutt stops it. Runner at second was looking at potentially going. 1-0 is the count. Runner on second. Hesser checks a runner. Pitch on the way, and that is on the outside edge of the plate for a called strike. 1-1. 2 outs, runner on second. Shutt doing a really good job framing that one. Wind up that pitch, low and outside. 2-1. Wind up, pitcher coming in, swing, and that gets fouled back. Count goes even at 2 with 2 outs, runner on second. If you like the number 2, we got it covered for you. Yeah, 22 is at bat. Yeah, a lot of 2s on the scoreboard right now. Hesser checking runner at second. Wind up, the pitch comes in, swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's strike 3, and that wraps up 2.5. 0-0 remains as we have 1 hit, no runs, no errors, and a runner stranded on second for Plattsmouth. Warrior Bats coming up right after this as we take a bit of a break. Thank you for being a part of our broadcast right here on bsdnlive.com, Saunders County Online YouTube, and Wahoo Public Schools YouTube. Again, say thank you to the sponsors. You can see them all in the upper left-hand corner as they are part of the Wahoo Public Schools Booster Club, helping sponsor the activities department, the kids, and then bringing in the new scoreboards for the new gym that we look forward to being able to use next school year. Warm-up pitches have been completed. Currently 60 degrees. Starting to regret long sleeves. But, it's going to be like a 70-degree day today. Absolutely beautiful spring day. Perfect for baseball. So stepping up to bat is catcher Quinn Shutt. First pitch coming in, high and inside for ball 1. Bottom of the third inning, tied at 0. Line up, next pitch, drops low. 2-0 is the count to the leadoff batter for the third. Pitch comes in, that one right at the knees, called strike. 2-1. Wind up that pitch, swing and missed that one. Count goes even at 2. Shutt took advantage of being ahead on the count. See if you can find that one. A nice place outfield, but just not able to connect. Wind up pitch, and that one low and outside again. Count goes full to Shutt. And now we're waiting for the payoff pitch. Wind up inside, and he gets hit by pitch. So, not the way you want to be able to start off the inning. So, going out to courtesy run for Shutt is Jackson Hall. And that brings up Carson Sabatka to bat for the Warriors. Ends up throwing over to first. Shot actually Hull able to get back on the bag without any issue. Wind up the pitch coming in, showing bunt. Connected with it, but it ends up going foul. 0-1 is the count. Good bunt because that one, everybody lost that. So if it would have stayed in fair territory, it would have been a nice bunt. Oh, 1 pitch on the way, bunt, and it drops right down, picking up and not able to grab it. So Sabatka able to get onto base. When it hit the grass, it just stopped. So nobody out, runners on first and second, and now we have stepping up to bat, Jack Van Slyke. Checking runner. Throw goes out to second, but it gets out to center field. And it gets over the head of Bradley Thomas. Derek Nanke checking runner at second. Pitch on the way, and that one is low. One 0. Nanke again keeping an eye on the runner, showing bunt. That's like getting a touch on that, going foul, so that is a foul ball. Strike one. 1-1 is the count. Nanke checking a runner at second. Looks, pitch comes in, gets out of control, and so that advances the runners. Home plate umpire wanted to check that ball, make sure it was okay. So 2-1 is the count. Runners on second and third for the Warriors. Nobody out. We're at the bottom of the third inning. Tied at 0. Warriors threatening. Pitch on the way, and that one's high inside. 3-1. Van Slyke well ahead on the count. Probably expecting a strike right now. Swing, and that gets popped up into shallow center field. Getting underneath it is able to go in. But taking advantage of it, it is a sacrifice fly that does bring in the first run for the Warriors. Moves the runner over to third. So Isaiah Nagel with one out, runner on third, and one run has come in. Slide into home plate with all the dry on the field. It really covered up the plate, so the home plate umpire is redrawing the line a little bit so he can tell where the plate is. All right, so Nagel at bat. Again, one out, runner on third. Yankee with a pitch on the way. That one's across the outside edge of the plate for strike one. 0-1 pitch. Reach for that, and that gets loped over to the shortstop. Throw over to first is in time for out number 2, but that does bring in the sacrifice run. So an RBI. 2 outs. 2 rounded the bases. Nobody on base now. And we have Jace Kaminsky at bat for the Warriors. Yankee for the first pitch on the way, and that one gets called strike. Oh, 1 on the way, and that one lingers high. 1-1 is the count now. Kaminsky watched that one go by. Wind up that pitch. Swung on. That gets popped out to right field, getting underneath it, but missing. Rounding to second. The throw to second is not in time, so Kaminsky with a double, able to extend the bats for the Warriors. And that brings up Cody Hesser. Hesser, the pitcher, struck out last time he was up, but now able to battle again. So 2 outs, runner on second. Pitch on the way. Swung on. That goes down the third base line. Picked up the throw over to first is in time for out number 3. Well, that wraps up 3 innings. The Warriors able to get 2 runners around the bases and then strand a runner on second. 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runs. That wraps up the 3rd inning. So the Warriors take the lead 2-0. And we'll be back in just a moment right here on BSDNlive.com, Saunders County Online YouTube, and Wahoo Public Schools YouTube. Welcome back to Sam Crawford Field as we're looking outside right now, and well, it's 60 degrees, beautiful day. Stepping up to bat, Eli Winters. First pitch, that one gets fouled back and just outside the fence, not able to play that as it bounces up into the stands. Next pitch, low and outside. 1-1 is the count. Try to get this updated here for you in a moment. Next pitch on the way. That one stays low. 2-1. Top of the fourth inning. Wind up that next pitch from Hesser. High and outside. 3-1. Next pitch. And that one stays high for a base. Free base goes right there to Eli Winters. And now we have the second baseman, Levi Walkers, stepping up to bat for the Blue Devils. Again, both teams coming into this with the same record, 10-10. Wind up that first pitch, goes outside for ball one. Checks runner, sends it over to first, but Winters able to get back on the bag without any issue. Walker steps back into the box. Pitch, and that one gets sent down beyond the third base dugout. So that brings up 1-1 with nobody out, runner on first. Hesser with the throw comes in. That one gets popped straight up. And it stays inside. Hesser able to get underneath it and reel it in for the first out. Brady Robbins, the catcher, is at bat for the Blue Devils. Earlier, he was injured at bat, or as he was behind the plate. Pulled through. First pitch. Off-speed pitch drops in for a strike one. Hesser, wind up, the pitch comes in, swing, and that gets fouled straight back. 0-2 is the count to Robbins. One out runner on first. Pitch on the way. That one right at the top and called strike. So struck him out. And that brings up Caden Mink. Caden Mink to bat for the Blue Devils. Again, now we're at 2 outs. Runner on first. 2 outs, runner on first. Caden Mink at bat. Wind up that pitch. Drops low. Ball one. Wind up that pitch coming in. Now we have a 2-0 count. 2 outs. Top of the fourth inning, Warriors leading 2-0. Wind up pitch, swung on, and that gets sent out to left field, able to get underneath it, and easy third out. So that wraps up 3.5, and the Warriors maintain the lead 2-0 over the Plattsmouth Blue Devils. We're going to take a break. Come back with more baseball from Sam Crawford Field right here on BSDNLive.com, Saunders County Online YouTube, and Wahoo Public Schools YouTube. Welcome back to Sam Crawford Field as we have the Warrior Bats coming up, leading things off with Sam Markson. Bottom of the fourth inning, Warriors lead 2-0 over Plattsmouth, both with a 10-10 record, looking to break that. The Warriors, or big win could be for either one. First pitch comes in, swung on, fouled back for strike one. Markson stepping back in the batting box, ready for the pitch. That one goes high, 1-1. We're looking at the records. Warriors actually have a better record on the road than they do at home, so they're looking to be able to improve their home record. Pitch comes in, and that one stays low. 2-1. Plattsmouth, however, has have better record at home than on the away, so swung, and that one gets sent out to right field and able to reel that one in for the first out. So Markson with a good go at it. Now we have Caden Christian stepping up to bat. Left-hander. First pitch fouled right over to the third base dugout. Strike one. Don't forget, coming up after this game, we're going to stay a little bit longer and honor the senior class. Next pitch. That one's on the outside edge for strike two. Wind up pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. So that is 2 outs, nobody on base. Willie Ullery stepping up to bat now. The last time he was at bat, it was a 2-out rally. He was able to get on to base. And we'll see if he's able to get back on base after this one. First pitch swung on down the third base line, but it stays foul for strike one. Wind up next pitch, showing bunt, pulls that back. Count is 1-1. Again, 2 outs, nobody on base. Wind up that pitch, swung on, and that gets popped out to center field, chasing it down, and it drops, goes all the way to the fence. And a stand-up double. Ullery is able to strike twice on that one. Same scenario, 2 outs, got on base. We'll see how the Warriors continue to bat after this. And we have the catcher, Quinn Schutt, stepping up to bat. 2 outs, runner on second, so runner in scoring position. Bottom of the fourth inning. Umpire redrawing the right-handed batting box. Again, a lot of ground dry on the field right now because of the rains from the past couple of days. Canceled last night's game. That's why today the seniors will be honored, because they were supposed to be honored last night. Okay, shot first pitch, and that one stays at the knees for strike one. Nanke checks runner at second. Looks in. Pitch comes in. Shot fouls it straight back for strike two. 0-2 with 2 outs, runner on second. Pitch on the way in. That one goes outside for ball one. On deck is, one moment here, checking runner at second. That pitch comes in and gets called as strike 3. One hit, no runs, no errors. A stranding runner at second. That is 4 complete. Warriors hold their lead 2-0 over the Plattsmouth Blue Devils as we enjoy an absolutely stunning spring day at Sam Crawford Field. It is Warrior Baseball on BSDNLive.com, Saunders County Online, and Wahoo Public Schools YouTube channels. We're just over halfway through this game at Sam Crawford Field on this beautiful Saturday morning. Warriors taking on the Blue Devils, and both have a 10-10 record. Warriors lead going into the top of the 5th inning, 2-0. First hit, first pitch, first hit. That one goes all the way to the fence in left center field, wrapping around first and stopping at second. And that was Bradley Thomas with a nice lope right out into the open space there. Stepping up to bat, Jacob Longton. Hesser, pitch showing bunt, and taps that one for a strike. Partly cloudy skies. You can feel when the clouds are over the top. Temp actually feels like it. Showing bunt, pitch goes high. 1-1 is the count with nobody out, runner on second. Blue Devils looking to strike. Hesser checks the runner. Wind up the pitch, back to show bunt, and goes after that one for strike 2. 1-2, nobody out. Looking to sacrifice bunt, move runner to third. That one right across the numbers on the outside edge for strike number 3. So Hesser able to get, he's able to get the out there. Cody Domboski, designated hitter, stepping up, junior for the Blue Devils. 1 out, runner on second. Top of the 5th inning. Wind up pitch, and that one's inside for ball 1. Warriors lead 2-0 with 2 runs that came in the 3rd inning. Warriors looking to keep the shutout. Wind up, the pitch comes in, and that one off speed drops in for strike. 1-1 with 1 out. Hesser's pitch comes in. Framed well for strike two. Hesser keeping a close eye and communicating with shortstop Sabatka. Checks runner at second. Pitch on the way. Swing, and that one gets fouled back. Keeps the count 1-2. Demboski staying alive. Wind up, next pitch coming in. Swung on down the third base line and picks it up. Fielder's choice, just nobody at third. So a delayed throw over to first puts runners on the corners with one out. Top of the order, Lewis Ingram stepping into bat for the Blue Devils. Hesser checking out the runners. Pitch on the way. Swung, and that gets sent out to center field, and it drops in. Blue Devils able to advance a runner to second and bring a run in. So the Blue Devils with one run in, runners on first and second, one out. Henry Luchner at bat. First pitch comes in, and that one gets dropped right in there for strike one. Cody checking a runner at second. Pitch comes in, swing and a miss. 0-2. One out, one run came in. Cody wind up, and he steps back. A throw over to second, not in time, but almost caught him. Checks runner. Pitch on the way. Swing, and that one gets sent over to right field. Lopes in. Drops up and is able. We had some confusion on the base runners as it's bases loaded. The second base was kind of trying to advance, but see if they can do a runoff maybe and get another run in. Bases are loaded, one out. First pitch comes in, called strike against Eli Winters. 0-1, one out. Bases are loaded. Warriors lead 2-1. Hesser with the next pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Hesser's been ahead on the count several times, but the Blue Devils have found some open space in the outer field to be able to get some base runs. Swing and foul that one back. Keeps the count 0-2. Hesser looking to dig himself out of a bases loaded with only one out. Next pitch on the way. Swing, and that one goes out to third base. Run over and gets the third base out, but a run does come in. So with two outs, Blue Devils have runners on first and second. 2 runs. I believe we're tied 2-2. Pitch comes in to Levi Walker. Called strike. Hesser checks a runner. Wind up the pitch on the way. Swing, and that one gets popped out to center field. Coming over and dropping it. That brings in 1 run. Coming around and comes in. Here is run number 2 sliding in. So that puts the Blue Devils ahead with a runner. Now it is 4-2. The tide has turned over. The Blue Devils taking the lead with 2 outs and runner on second. Bradley Robbins stepping up to bat. So Brady Robbins stepping up to bat, catcher for the Blue Devils. Top of the 5th inning, the Blue Devils have flipped it, as now they lead by 2, 4-2. 2 outs, runner on second. Hesser checking runner. Pitch comes in and stays at the knees on the outside for strike 1. Wind up, the pitch comes in. Check swing. Off-speed pitch drops in for strike number 2. Hesser. Pitch comes in, swing, and that gets fouled straight back. Keeps the count 0-2. But multiple batters have taken advantage of this behind in the count to find places in the outer field for the Blue Devils this inning. Hesser with the pitch, and that one stays high. 1-2. Pitch comes in, swung on down the third base line. Pitch throw goes over to first and is in time. Almost could have just tagged as Levi Walker was met up with the third baseman and fell backwards, we'll just say, as he tried to avoid getting tagged, and the throw over to first is in time for the out. Well, with 3 hits, 4 runs, 1 error, runner stranded on second, that wraps up 4.5 innings as the Blue Devils turn the tide to take over the lead. 4-2. Warriors bats coming up in just a moment right here on BSDNLive.com, Saunders County Online, and Wahoo Public Schools YouTube. Welcome back to a beautiful Saturday for baseball at Sam Crawford Field in Wahoo, Nebraska. It is the Warriors taking on the Plattsmouth Blue Devils. We're at the bottom of the fifth inning. Carson Sabatka, top of the order for the Warriors, leading off at the bottom of the fifth. First pitch comes in, and that one's high and outside for ball one. Last inning, or top of the inning, Blue Devils able to bring 4 runs in. A lot of threats with 2 outs as well. Sabatka back in. Pitch comes in, and that one gets called strike. 1-1. Swing on that one, and that one gets sent out to center field and able to grab it on the run for out number 1. It was going, it just didn't quite get there. Reaching out, and it was a good snag on the run. Jack Van Slyke stepping up to bat for the Warriors with 1 out. First pitch comes in. That gets fouled. Actually sent down the third base line. Throw over to first. It stayed in. Looked like it was going to go foul, but it stayed in. The throw over in time for out number 2. Brings up Isaiah Nagel. Both times he's been up, he's been able to get on base with 2 outs. First pitch, high and inside. Had to really pull back to not get hit by that one. Yankee continuing to pitch for the Blue Devils. Swing, and that one gets sent over to the third base. And the throw over to first is in time. 3 up, 3 down. That wraps up 5 innings as the Warriors not able to do anything with that particular inning. Blue Devils lead going into the top of the 6th, 4-2. And we'll continue on with baseball at Sam Crawford Field right here on this beautiful Saturday morning on BSDNlive.com, Saunders County Online, and Wahoo Public Schools YouTube. Going into the top of the 6th inning, right here at Sam Crawford Field, Alex Berry stepping onto the mound, relieving Cody Hesser. Alex Berry looking to get the save if the Warriors are able to get some points out there. Right now, Hesser would have the loss on his record if things don't change or flip the other direction. So Barry leading off against Caden Mink for the Blue Devils. Top of the 6th inning, Blue Devils lead 4-2. Called time. Mink stepping back into the batting box. Barry's first pitch, and that is inside for ball 1. Wind up that next pitch. Swung on, and that goes popped down to the third base line and picked up and throw over to first is in time for out number one. Brady Thomas, a shortstop for the Blue Devils. Next at bat. Again, we're at the top of the sixth inning. Blue Devils lead 4-2. Barry's first pitch on the way. High and inside for ball one. Wind up that next pitch. Low and inside. 2-0 with one out. Wind up pitch. Swing and gets fouled straight back for strike one. Wind up the pitch coming in. Swung and that gets over the second base hand and loped into right field for a base hit. So with one out, runner on first. Jacob Longton stepping up to bat. Barry getting the call he wants. Checks runner at first. Showing bunt coming in and goes after the bunt. Gets fouled back. 0-1 is the count. Barry checking runner at first again. Likes the call. Pitch comes in, swing and a miss. 0-2. We're getting close to the end of the regular season. One more game coming up on Monday at home. Wind up that next pitch. It's high. Throw goes over to first. Shut was not. It went over to Hesser. But Thomas able to beat it back to the bag. 1-2. Pitch comes in. Swing and a miss. Strike three. 2 outs. Runner on first. That brings up the designated hitter, Cody Demoski, Jr. for the Blue Devils. First pitch comes in. Demoski has to kind of hit down because avoid getting hit on that one. So that is 1 ball, no strikes. Runner on first. Thrower goes over to first. 2 outs. Barry checks a runner. Pitch comes in, drops low. 2 balls, no strikes. Throw goes over to first. And Thomas able to beat it back to the bag. 2 outs. 2-0. Pitch on the way, and that is high and inside, 3-0. Dombrowski is ahead on the count, able to kind of relax on this one. That next pitch right across the inside edge of the plate for strike one. 2 outs, runner on first. Dombrowski ahead on the count. That next pitch high and gives a free base. So that sends Shutt out to have a communication with Barry. Make sure that they're on the same page for the call. Looking back to Coach Nick Milliken for some guidance. buying a little time there, adjusting Shuts equipment a bit as I continue to have a conversation. Lewis Ingram stepping into bat for the Blue Devils. Runners on first and second, 2 out. Barry's first pitch comes in, and that one drops low for a first ball. Little breeze picking up. Kind of nice to feel that here. Wind up the pitch, swung on, and that gets loped out into left field. And they were waving him in, but runner stopped at third. Probably a good idea because that was a really good throw. So bases are now loaded with 2 outs. And that brings out Nick Milliken to have a conversation out on the mound. Now it's just the catcher and pitcher conversation, not looking like we're going to switch anything. Let's take a moment here and looking outside. Fair skies, 61 degrees. Slight breeze occasionally coming out of the south, which is welcome because it feels a lot warmer in the concrete here than that. But when I dressed this morning, it was in the 40s, so I put long sleeves on, which I'm kind of grateful for. Otherwise, I'd be crispy by the end of this. So we have an 0-0 count. Bases are loaded. First pitch comes in, drops in as a strike to Luchner. Barry's next pitch, swing, and that gets popped out to right field. Getting underneath it and able to reel it in. Bases loaded, 2 outs, but able to reel that in to keep any more damage from happening. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error. We'll be back at the bottom of the 6th inning with the Warrior Bats trying to turn this around and take over the lead again. It's 4-2 Blue Devils over the Warriors on BSDN Live. On BSDN Live, Saunders County Online, Wahoo Public Schools. We, again, 2 hits, no runs, 1 error. We're looking forward to the Warrior Bats coming back and trying to turn this around at the bottom of the 6th inning right here on BSDN Live, Saunders County Online, and Wahoo Public Schools YouTube. Welcome back as we are at the bottom of the 6th inning at Sam Crawford Field. Jace Kaminsky stepping up to bat. Warrior Bats looking to turn the tide back around. For the first 4 innings, they led 2-0. 5th inning, the Blue Devils able to turn it around. Now they lead 4-2. First hit goes loped out to left field for a base hit. 1 pitch, 1 hit, 1 on base. Now we have Cody Hesser stepping into the batting box. Striking out the first couple of times he's been at bat. started off pitching. Great job until the fifth inning when the Blue Devils bats were able just to find his location. First pitch comes in. 1-0 is the count. Wind up next pitch showing bunt. That one goes high. 2-0. Showing bunt and is able to get it to ground. Coming in, and the throw over to first is in time. With a sacrifice, was able to advance a runner. That brings up Sam Markson. And he was able to hit that. Picked up at second base. Throw over to first is in time. So another sacrifice forward. So 2 outs. Runner on third. Alex Berry up to bat. Yankee continuing to pitch. First pitch goes high. Ball 1. 2 outs. Runner on third. Tying run at bat. Next pitch goes on the outside edge. Called strike. Pitch comes in, and that one called a ball. Two one with 2 out. That pitch goes low and outside. 3-1. Berry ready for the next pitch to come in, and that one. Called ball, so a free base. Puts runners on the corners. And that brings up Caden Christian. Oh, I'm sorry. Willie Ullery stepping in. Didn't see his number there. Willie Ullery stepping up to bat with 2 outs. We do have a courtesy runner going out for Barry. Josh Fox stepping out on first base.
Your attention, please, ready at first base for your Warriors. Number 10, Josh Fox.
Don't forget, coming up after the game, we'll be honoring the seniors for Wahoo Bishop Neumann baseball. That first pitch comes in, that's called strike. Ullery, with 2 outs, has every time he's been at bat able to get on base. Next pitch on the outside edge. That one is called strike as well. 0-2. Ullery looking to continue his trend of getting on base, keeping things with the bats going. Swing, and that gets popped straight up. Getting underneath it, and with the out. That's 3 outs. That wraps up 6 innings. Warriors threatened, but not able to do anything with it. Blue Devils continue to hold the lead 4-2 as the Blue Devil bats will come back. Top of the 7th inning. As we continue on, it's baseball on bsdnlive.com, Saunders County Online, and Wahoo Public Schools YouTube. 63 degrees and partly cloudy skies. A beautiful day for baseball out at Sam Crawford Field in Wahoo, Nebraska. It is the Warriors taking on the Blue Devils. Top of the 7th inning. Blue Devils leading 4-2. And at bat, we have Eli Winter. First pitch from Barry comes in, and it's called strike one. Wind up the next pitch, swing and a miss, strike two. Barry with a wind up. That pitch goes low and outside. 1-2 is the count. They were able to battle themselves out of a bases loaded earlier. Wind up that pitch, gets sent over. Second base throw over to first is in time. They call him out. That was close. I'm glad the umpires are much closer than I am on that one. So that brings in Caden Mink to bat for the Blue Devils with one out. Barry's first pitch drops low, ball one. Wind up that next pitch. Swung on, and that gets popped foul down the first base line. 1-1 with one out, nobody on base. Wind up that pitch, and that gets popped over to right field. Coming in and able to reel it in. That is out number 2. So Sam Markson able to step up to be able to reel that one in for the out. And now we have the catcher, Brady Robbins, for the Blue Devils stepping in to bat with 2 outs. First pitch, fouled back for strike one. Wind up the pitch, gets sent straight out, and it hits the glove of Barry. The throw over to, but picked up by Kaminsky, looking to throw, just not able to do it in time. So that puts a runner on first, and I believe we probably will. Will we have a courtesy runner? No. All right, at bat. Goes inside, and at bat we have Caden Mink. 1-0 with 2 outs, runner on first. Next pitch comes in, called strike. 1-1. Barry checks runner at first. Wind up the pitch, and that stays outside. 2-1 is the count with 2 outs. Barry's pitch on the way, and right across the knees for strike 2. Counts even at 2 with 2 outs, runner on first. Top of the 7th inning. Warriors looking to keep the Blue Devils from scoring anything else. Well, with that one, gets low and count goes full. Guarantee we're going to see somebody run. Throw goes over to first. Able to beat the bag back. Wind up the pitch. The throw goes over, and nobody at second to cover that. Throw goes out. And the throw to third is not in time. So that puts base runners on the corners for the Blue Devils with 2 outs. So that was a ball 4. So free base plus an overthrow. Shortstop Brady Thomas stepping into the batting box. First pitch comes in right there at the numbers on the outside edge for a called strike. 2 outs. Wind up that pitch. Stays a little bit high. 1-1. Barry with a wind up the pitch. Swung on, and that one goes out. Shortstop picks it up. Throw over to first. And that is in time for out number 3. The fielder's choice wraps it up with leaving runners on base. 2 runners on base, but threatening. The Warriors able to keep the Blue Devils from running any more score. So we have 4-2. The Warriors have one last chance to either tie or go ahead, as the bottom of the 7th inning is coming up right after this at Sam Crawford Field on BSDNLive.com, Saunders County Online, and Wahoo Public Schools YouTube. All right, we are at the bottom of the 7th. Warriors, last chance to be able to do anything with it. So leading off, we have Quinn Shutt, the catcher, stepping into the batting box. Yankee pitching the whole game for the Blue Devils. That pitch called a ball. High and inside. Wind up that next pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Next pitch swung on and fouled that straight back. 1-2 is the count. Shutt leadoff batter at the bottom of the 7th inning for the Warriors. That next pitch gets grounded over to third and picked up, and throw over to first is off. Goes all the way to the fence. So Shutt able to get on base with an error and a double. So now we're at the top of the order for the Warriors as Carson Sabaka is stepping in. No out. Runner on second. So Sabaka is the tying run. Throw goes over to second. And that one gets actually past Brady Thomas, the shortstop, and out to center field. But Shutt stays put. Yankee with the pitch comes in, and that one gets popped out to left center field, coming in and able to reel it in. So that is out number 1. Now we have left fielder Jack Van Slyke stepping up to bat for the Warriors with 1 out, runner on second. continue to have the tying run at bat. Nike with the pitch comes in, off speed drops in for strike one. Nanke has been pitching the entire game for the Blue Devils. Limited to 5 hits and 2 runs. That pitch stays high and inside. 1-1. 1 out. Runner on second. Shutt opting to run for himself as it is the bottom of the 7th inning. That pitch lingers high. Ball 2. 2-1. Following the conclusion of this game, we will have the seniors honored. Wind up that pitch. Goes into the dirt. 3-1. Wind up that pitch. Swung on, and that gets popped foul straight behind the press box. Count goes full with 1 out as Van Slyke looking to get on base. Perhaps see if he can bring Shutt home. Wind up pitch, and that one is swung and goes foul down the third base side, but able to reel it in. That's out number 2. Isaiah Nagel stepping up to bat. Now each time he's found a way to be able to get on base. See if he can figure this out with 2 outs. He's been in this situation before today. Wind up the pitch, and that gets popped down the first base line and reeled it in for out number 3. And that wraps it up. Giving it a good try, but the Warriors with an early lead in the third, able to bring 2 runs in, holding the Blue Devils to zeros until the 5th inning. The Blue Devils were able to bring in with several hits and bring 4 runs around the plates to turn the tide and take the lead. And then they held it from there. 4-2, Blue Devils lead over the Warriors. Blue Devils now advanced to a 11-10 record, and the Warriors now with a 10-11 record. We'll be back in just a moment. We're actually not going to really go anywhere. I'll just kind of silence things as things get reset, but we are going to honor the class of 2025 as we continue on here. So just hold on as we continue to bring that. Thank you, everybody, and thank you for the sponsors of the athletic department's Booster Club being a part of our broadcast and being able to bring you coverage of the Wahoo Warriors. If you've missed any of those games, you can always go back and watch on bsdnlive.com. Click on the Wahoo Warriors link, or go to Wahoo Public Schools YouTube, Saunders County Online YouTube. A lot of ways to be able to watch the Warriors. Again, thank you to sponsors, and thank you to those who have been out there and have been a part of all of our broadcasts.
student-athletes and pay tribute to their efforts. Our first senior today is number 3, Isaiah Nagel. Nagel is the son of Patrick and Kristen. In his other activities at Bishop Newman, he is involved in the John Paul II Men's Group, as well as National Honor Society. Isaiah's future plans include attending Dakota Wesleyan, playing football. He will be majoring in business and minoring in sports management. His favorite memory was winning the district championship here at Crawford Field his sophomore year to punch the Warriors' ticket to the state tournament for the first time since 2018. His advice for anyone trying their luck at baseball is to try new things and trust the process. We congratulate Isaiah on all of his accomplishments and wish him the best of luck going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, Isaiah Nagel. Next up is number 8, Carson Sabatka. Sabatka is the son of Pat and Amy. He is involved with the Future Business Leaders of America at Bishop Newman High School. His future plans is to attend Southeast Community College in Lincoln on a business major. His favorite memory is also winning the district championship here at Crawford Field his sophomore year and punching the Warriors' first ticket to state since 2018. His advice for others is to not look too much into the future and to enjoy where you are at right now. We congratulate Carson on all of his accomplishments on and off the field and wish him the best of luck. Ladies and gentlemen, Carson Sabatka. Last but certainly not the least today is number 13, Sam Markson. Markson, the son of Kim and Matt. At Wahoo High School, he also participates in football, who won the state championship this past fall, and is also involved in the Wahoo Junior Mates Association. His future plans, like Sabatka, is attending Southeast Community College on a business major. His favorite memory is cheering on Coach Brooke during the Wombats game. His advice for others is simply to enjoy the ride. We congratulate Sam Markson on his accomplishments on and off the field. Good luck going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Markson. And now, let's hear it one more time for your 2025 Warrior Baseball Sneakers. We thank everyone for coming out to Crawford Field this afternoon. The Warriors are next in action here at Crawford Field on Monday against the Platteview Trojans. The varsity will pitch